Most of us were raised to believe that being an open book is a virtue. We were taught that transparency builds trust with our friends, our colleagues, and our families. But if you are over the age of 55, that virtue is quietly becoming your greatest financial liability. In 2024, the FTC estimated that elder fraud cost Americans a staggering $81.5 billion. Now, we usually think of fraud as a hacker in a distant country, but here's the surprising financial truth. A massive portion of that loss didn't start with a computer virus. It started with a casual conversation. I call this the information tax. It is a hidden cost paid in the form of workplace discrimination, family friction, and predatory scams. Today, we're going to build your silent guard. We're going to walk through the 8 specific things you must stop disclosing after 55 to protect the retirement you've spent 40 years building. Why do we share so much? It's rarely a lack of intelligence. It's actually a deep-seated behavioral trait called the transparency bias. Our brains are wired to believe that if we trust the person we are talking to, the information itself remains safe. But at age 55, your disclosures carry significantly more financial weight than they did at 35. When you were younger, a leak about your finances didn't matter because you had time to recover. Now, you're entering the most vulnerable financial window of your life. Every piece of data you give away, whether it's to a nosy coworker or a well-meaning relative, is a piece of your armor you are handing over. 1. The sunset effect. Your retirement timeline. It feels harmless, doesn't it? You're excited. You've been planning this for years. So you mention to a boss or a coworker that you're thinking about hanging it up in 18 months. But the moment you name a date, you trigger the sunset effect. You stop being an asset that the company wants to invest in and start being a position they are planning to fill. According to the AARP, 64% of workers over 50 have already experienced age discrimination. By announcing your exit, you accelerate this. You stop getting the high-profile projects, and training opportunities are diverted to younger employees. Because in management's eyes, you're leaving anyway. We share this because we want to be helpful with succession planning. But consider this. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many who had announced their retirement were the first to be furloughed or laid off. They lost their leverage because they showed their cards too early. Stay indefinite. Give your professional notice only when you are truly ready to walk out the door on your own terms. The wealth target, your net worth and 401k balance. The second thing to stop sharing is your specific net worth or 401k balance. The FBI reports that 68% of elder fraud losses come from incidents involving over $100,000. Scammers aren't just casting wide nets. They're looking for big fish who have signaled they have the funds. But the danger isn't just from strangers. Sharing your numbers can fundamentally shift your family dynamics. When family members know your number, their expectations shift overnight. You're no longer just mom or dad, you're a safety net. Suddenly, you can afford to co-sign a risky loan or bridge a relative's emergency. Adults over 70 lose a median of $1,000 per fraud incident, compared to just $417 for people in their 20s. This isn't because older adults are less careful, it's because they have more to take, and people know about it. Keep your numbers private. Only your trusted circle, your CPA, your attorney, and your financial advisor, needs to see the ledger. Number 3, your Social Security benefit amount. Most of us treat this as public information because it's a government program, but your benefit amount reveals your approximate lifetime income. When a scammer combines that number with your name and location, they have what I call a financial fingerprint. 27.7% of adults aged 55 and older receive 11 or more suspicious communications per week. Government imposter scams, calls from people pretending to be the Social Security Administration or Medicare, are the second highest loss category for older adults. If a caller already knows your exact benefit amount, they sound incredibly convincing. So treat your benefit amount like your bank password. Do not share it casually at lunches or in social settings. The entitlement trap. Inheritance and estate plans. This is the most emotionally difficult one. Stop sharing specific inheritance numbers with your children. It usually starts with good intentions. You want your kids to feel secure, so you say, you'll get the house, or expect to inherit $300,000. But this triggers the entitlement trap. Psychologically, your children begin to pre-spend that money in their minds. They might take on more debt or make riskier career moves, assuming your nest egg is their backup plan. The financial risk. Life happens. The average nursing home in the U.S. now costs $90,000 a year. If you end up needing long-term care, you will have to spend that money on your own health. When that happens, children who were promised a specific amount often feel a sense of loss, as if you're spending their money, leading to deep family resentment. 67% of Americans die without a formal estate plan. Tell them there is a plan, but don't give them the ledger. Let the inheritance be a grateful surprise rather than a calculated expectation. Document your wishes in a living trust to bypass probate and reduce friction. 5 and 6, the security breach, passwords and POA details. Numbers 5 and 6 involve passwords and power of attorney details. Many people over 55 share their bank logins with their adult children just in case. While your intention is safety, the security is terrible. It bypasses every protection your bank has in place and leaves you with zero oversight. Identity fraud cost Americans $47 billion in 2024, and those over 60 accounted for nearly $5 billion of that. Furthermore, if you reuse passwords, sharing one login gives access to your medical records and emails as well. The POA secret. Similarly, be careful who you tell about your power of attorney. Once siblings know who holds the POA, they know who to pressure or manipulate. Use a password manager with emergency access features. For your POA, use a springing clause that requires a physician's certification before it ever activates. This keeps you in control until it is truly necessary. Number 7, the capability projection, health conditions at work. Number 7 is keeping your health conditions private at work. The workplace rewards the projection of capability. If you're working into your 60s, sharing a diagnosis can cause management to doubt your performance, even if you are doing a great job. People are already looking for signs that you are slowing down. Socially, sharing health news also makes you a target for Medicare and supplemental insurance scams. Scammers use your health data to sell you treatments or plans that don't exist. Share health data with your doctors and your spouse. In the office, unless it directly impacts your work today, your health is not their business. The big money window, the rollover risk. Finally, we come to the most dangerous disclosure of all, the big money window. The months immediately before and after you retire are the most financially vulnerable moments of your life. This is when 401k rollovers, pension payouts, and severance checks are moving. You have more liquid cash in your accounts than you've ever managed before, and investment scammers know it. The mistake is posting "last day in the office" or "just finished my 401k rollover" on social media. It's like setting off a flare for predators. It signals to the world that you have a large liquid windfall and that you're navigating a transition you've never handled before. All 8 items on this list come together here. If a scammer knows you just retired, 1, knows you have money, 2, knows that money just moved, 3, they have a complete picture of how to take it from you. Handle your financial transition quietly. Wait to celebrate publicly until the money is settled and your new silent guard is firmly in place. The power of the silent guard. I know that following this advice might feel a little bit like paranoia at first, but I want you to reframe it. This isn't about being secretive, it's about information allocation. You've spent decades being disciplined with your savings. Now you must be just as disciplined with your story. By maintaining your silent guard, you ensure that you retire on your own terms, maintain the respect of your peers, and keep your family relationships focused on love rather than balance sheets. You may have believed that being an open book was the only way to be honest, but the truth is your silence is your security. The most important step you can take today, the next time someone asks you about your number or your retirement plans, just give them a warm smile and say, "I'm still figuring that out." If you're ready to take the next step in simplifying your future, you need to know not just what to keep, but what to let go of. Watch my next video on the 5 things you should sell before you retire. I'll see you there.